Okay, now we're going to look at how to draw an isometric circle, or a series of isometric circles on a 3D shape. So a circle will always fit into a square because a circle's height and width are the same in size, and so is a square's. And so to demonstrate this, I've drawn a square here. It is 40 by 40, and I've got a compass so I can show you that the circle fits exactly into the square. So I put my point on the center point there and scribe around. You'll see that I have a circle that fits perfectly inside a square. And so when we're drawing an isometric circle, what we need to do is first draw a square. Now conveniently, I have already got 3 squares drawn here, and these squares are the sides of my cube. And so I can use these squares to essentially draw an isometric circle inside of. Now the way that we go about this, it's the same for each square. And what we first need to do is draw a line between these 2 diagonal points and these 2 diagonal points here. So I'll do that now with my set square, and I'll just draw these in quite lightly. So there's one line, and a second line there. So you can see I've drawn 2 straight lines between those 2 opposite corners. Now what we need to do is to draw a line that goes through that center point that's at 30 degrees, and that's going to be halfway between there and there, it's going to cross, and halfway between there and there, it's going to cross. So I've made my sides 100 millimeters high, so I can mark 50 millimeters here, and I can mark 50 millimeters here. And if I draw a line between the 2, hopefully they'll cross right in the middle of that centre line. In the middle of that cross. And they do. And again, I can, if I make a mark halfway between there and there, so again that's 100 millimeters, so I'll make a mark at 50 millimeters. And if I make a mark between here and here at 50 millimeters, and draw a line between the 2. This line should be absolutely vertical and should cross. So you can see that I've divided my, my square up into some quadrants there and then divided that again. So to draw our isometric circle, what we first need to do is to take our compass and extend it out so that the point sits on, see there's these 2 corners here, they're the narrower of the 2, so this line here is shorter than that line there. So we need to put our point on that corner and match it up to where these 2 lines intersect. Now I'm just going to hold my compass there for a second and make a tiny little mark. That should also be the same point where these 2 lines intersect. The compass should cross those as well. And as you can see, that does happen. So I can scribe a line between those 2 points, and this line can be nice and dark. Then I can do the same from this corner. So I've done it from this corner, now I can do it from this corner. And where those 2 lines cross, that matches, and where those 2 lines cross, that matches just. So I can darken this line. Great. So now what I need to do is find out how I can draw these 2 bits on. So to do that, I take my set square and my pencil, and starting from the top, I'm going to draw a line that goes down from that top point to this corner point here. Just very lightly. And then I'm going to do the same. I'm going to do it from the bottom point up to this top corner. Now, because we're making an arc between these 2 points here, we know that our centre point is going to lie somewhere along this line. So you might have guessed by now that the point where our centre is along this line, and where that line crosses the line that we've just made. So there, and along that centre line, and there. Those are going to be our 2 centre points for our compass. So we take our compass again, put it on that centre point, adjust the size of our compass so it hits this corner. And if we test, that should also hit that corner, which it does, so we can make a nice dark line in there. And again, from this centre point that we've just discovered, we'll test that it hits this line, and it does. Test that it hits that line, and it does, so we'll scribe a line in there. So you can see, here we have an isometric circle inside an isometric square. It's as simple as that.